One of the things that really irritates me is the over-medicalization of certain common conditions. It starts with the language. Scoliosis. Sounds scary, doesn't it? I prefer to call it what it is, a curvy spine or a bendy spine. In young people, the curve really is bendy, meaning it can move in and out of what is technically called a scoliosis. In this video, you will learn about the cultural connotations of having a scoliosis. More importantly, I will share with you one of my best strategies in how to protect yourself from the negative Nellies and the naysayers with a confident mindset. I want to give you the clarity and the courage you need so that nothing holds you back from moving forward to your dreams. But first, let me give you some background on who I am. I was trained as an osteopath in London, England, at the British School of Osteopathy. Together with my wife Lucy, who is also an osteopath, we set off to Canada for the adventure of a lifetime. We started our clinic in Calgary, Alberta, and it took off because our patients were getting such fantastic results. They kept referring their family and friends, and so now we have a team of 8 therapists under our leadership. And we've developed a real community of people who don't want to just survive through life, but thrive. We've built a natural movement center. This is a space where our patients and clients come to exercise, gain mobility, and move their bodies in a way that isn't taught in traditional gyms or even in yoga classes. Natural movement reconnects people to their innate ability to be strong, flexible, and deeply healthy. I will be teaching some specific natural movement exercises and movements that will help you correct your curve in the scoliosis correction protocol. But more on that later. So, why have my patients and students gotten such great results in their healing? Well, you learned in the first video of the Control Your Curve video series that my approach to healing is a whole body approach. You can't just look at your x-ray. You need to be a detective and assess your entire body, your bones, your organs, and even your emotions. Over the past 10 years, I've treated thousands of patients. I treat people with all sorts of muscle and joint problems, but one of the hardest things to treat is the mindset. Patients come in waving an MRI report and say, I've got a spondylolisthesis, or I've got a patellofemoral syndrome, or I've got a foraminal impingement. Have you treated this before? Now, that patient is fixed on their condition. That's all they're thinking about. They're thinking that if they have some treatment, then they get another MRI, and the thing that was on there will no longer be on there. It doesn't always work like that. Your body has a remarkable ability to adapt and thrive even when the bones, muscles, and nerves aren't considered to be perfect. To recover, the person would do better by thinking about their condition in context of their age. It might be normal. Their health and fitness levels, which affect the outcome, and their mindset. I have a personal experience of this. Back in my teens, I had some back pain from playing sport, and I saw a back doctor. He took an x-ray of my spine and noticed that there was a slight anterior spondylolisthesis, which is a slipping of one vertebrae forward on another. He also noticed that I had some Schmoll's nodes, which meaning my vertebrae weren't the perfect shape that they used to be. And they noticed Sherman's disease, which meant that my back was stiff and didn't move very well. I had no idea what those things were, but I knew my back hurt and this didn't sound good. I stopped playing all the sports I was doing at the time, and on the advice of my doctor, I started a regime of treatment. After about 10 sessions or so, my back felt fine, and I asked if we took another x-ray, would it be any different? His reply changed everything from me. He said no, the changes in my spine were permanent. This got me thinking, if the changes were still there, what had caused my back pain? Was there even a connection between these physical changes and my pain? It was only when I went back to school for 4 years to study osteopathy did I find out. All those scary sounding things on my x-ray were incidental and were not the cause of my back pain. When I graduated, I started seeing patients who were worried sick that their back was permanently damaged because the X-ray report said they had something that wasn't normal. But 9 times out of 10, there was no correlation between the thing they found on X-ray and the pain. For years, I've been helping people undo the fear that comes with finding out that your spine isn't perfect. Even now, if I get a twinge in my back from lifting something with bad technique, I have an echo of a voice that whispers, maybe it's just spondylolisthesis. And once it's in there, it's hard to get out. But now, I use a mindset technique to combat the negative thoughts, which I will share with you later in this video. The old tape recorder in your head of what the naysayers and the negative Nellies have said to you can be detrimental to your healing and you moving forward in your life. Even if those naysayers were well-meaning, like my doctor was, it still hurts. These voices can stick with you for a long time, so it's important to do something about it. Now, these well-meaning professionals, teachers, family, and friends are only half the battle. Let's take a minute to explore all the things that are already in our heads when it comes to our backs. I've got 2 young kids, and like most fathers, I enjoy reading them fairy tales. As I've got a young boy and a young girl, I like reading them the story of Hansel and Gretel, the brother and sister who were trapped by a witch in the candy house. Now, take a moment to think of what that witch looks like in your mind's eye. My guess is she was bent over with a haggard old face and possibly a wart on the end of her nose. This is subtle social imprinting that leads us to associate physical deformity and personality deformity. What this means is that at a subconscious level, many people believe that if someone has a physical problem, then they have a personality problem as well. Even though this isn't true, it's been highly effective in the telling of famous fairy tales like Hansel and Gretel. And this negative association has also worked in Hollywood blockbusters, like James Bond movie series. If you've watched any James Bond films, almost all the villains have some sort of deformity, from Scaramanga's third nipple to Blofeld's scarred face. This somehow explains their warped personalities. But in society, as a whole, it isn't healthy to think like this. We don't want people thinking of you like this, even at a subconscious level. As scoliosis can run in the family, there may be some other relatives with scoliosis. Picture a husband and wife who are reeling over the shock of their young daughter being diagnosed with scoliosis. And the mother says to the father, "Didn't your great aunt so-and-so have a scoliosis?" The father says, "Yeah, I believe she did, and she never got married, and she never had children." The negative thought spiral grows when the father remembers a book he read at college called Beauty Pays, Why Attractive People Are More Successful. He begins to think about his daughter not getting the top job or finding a partner because of her spine. What does this type of thinking do to your current situation? It catastrophizes it. But now you know this might happen, you are prepared for it, because being forewarned is forearmed. We know that the North American culture has these subtle subconscious beliefs and insecurities. We know that within a certain range of your curvature, the surgeon is going to suggest surgery, not because your curve is bad enough to cause damage to your organs, but purely for cosmetic reasons. We know that treating your scoliosis is certainly about the physical, but equally about your mindset and your thought patterns. Part of the scoliosis correction protocol is about empowering you to understand your condition, reframe your connection to your spine, and take control. I will show you that you're not alone in this. I will teach you how to control your fear by understanding where it comes from. As the Chinese sage Lao Tzu once said, a journey of 1,000 miles starts with one step. Here is your first step, a simple mental exercise. Follow along with me. First, just notice the fear. Fear of other people's judgments of you. Fear about the future. Notice that fear is about the future. Your mind is projecting itself into potential scenarios, but these scenarios have not actually happened. is just your mind going there. I want you to come back to the present moment. Feel your bum on the chair. Feel your feet on the ground. Wiggle your toes. Now take a deep inhalation. Let it go. Take another deep inhalation. And let it go. Put your hand on your belly and feel your belly rise and fall as you breathe in and out. Good. You are now in the present moment. This is the first step in creating a strong mindset, is to come back to the present. When you notice any fear arising around what other people might think about you, notice that the fear is only being caused because your mind is role-playing something that hasn't even happened. Your mind is taking you to the future, a future that doesn't exist. Only the present moment exists. So come back here and come back now. Bring awareness to what you have that you can be grateful for. It sounds cliche, but it works. You're here watching this video, gaining new knowledge and clarity, gaining new power. You are alive. You can breathe. You have feet that you can feel on the floor. You can breathe because you feel your belly rising and falling. This is it. This is a simple present moment gratitude that you can do anywhere, anytime, anywhere. Just remember, feet on the floor, breathe into your belly, feet on the floor, breathe into your belly. Gratitude for this. Notice in this state how good you feel, how centered you feel, how grounded you feel. This is a foundational step in gaining confidence. During the Scoliosis Correction Protocol, I will be giving you a new mindset practice every week so you can gain and grow in confidence and courage. You might remember that in the first video, I shared a bit about how your emotions affect your posture. You can tell just by looking at me if I'm happy or if I'm sad. Well, sometimes these emotional positions become habit. They change the way you stand, sit, and move. For this reason, it is necessary to take care of your mental and emotional well-being when you want to improve your spine. I will show you that you have the potential to slow down and even halt the progression of your curve, and I will show you that it might even be possible to reverse your curve. With the help of the Scoliosis Correction Protocol, you would develop new habits and avoid spending too much time in the future where you may think your potential is limited. You will learn how to be thankful for what you have, the abilities that you have, and the body that you have. Now I invite you to go and watch the next free video in the Control Your Curve video series. The next video, you will learn one of my very best hip tests. Remember how your hip bones are connected to the spine? Well, you will get to experience this for yourself. How true this really is. I will lead you through a hip test so you can see if your own hips are out of alignment, and by how much. These videos are giving you a taste of what the Scoliosis Correction Protocol is all about. If you're already convinced the Scoliosis Correction Protocol is for you, then you can skip right through to the fourth and final video. In that video, I will give you the details about the program so you can make an informed and educated decision if the program is for you. I'm Ed Paget, osteopath and founder of the Scoliosis Correction Protocol, empowering you to take your health into your own hands.